These are 5 things that will make any medical person go insane. 5 pet peeves of Hospital Corpsman. What is up, guys? You're tuning in to Nikki MGTV for another military video for all your military video needs. As always, you can hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, or down in the comments below if you have questions. But as always, let's roll right into the topic. And that is the 5 things that piss off Hospital Corpsman to the degree. Now, I do want to preface this video as far as a professionalism standpoint and trying to maintain professional. Any job you work at, you have small pet peeves and tendencies which can aggravate your workday, because just like you've worked probably at a restaurant or something like that, like it doesn't change anything. You're still going to do your job. You do everything you have to. It's just you have little quirks at each job that you do of things that bug you. If you worked at a restaurant job, this is like the person that comes in like 5 minutes before closing that wants a steak, or whatever else you can come up with. It's just, there are small things which with any job come with their own nuances, and these are just a couple of those. So don't take this with too much other than a grain of salt, because I want to make it very clear, even though these can be pet peeves, I want to make it clear because I am a medical professional. Come see us. We're here for you, but these are our pet peeves. The first one is what we bug everybody about. Every corpsman knows this. Half of our job is babysitting, literally babysitting. And people they think I'm kidding, but no, really, it's getting people to go where they're supposed to, babysit them, and make sure they get whatever's done. And that includes immunizations, dental, audiograms, HIV testing, whatever else is required for you to serve in the military. Believe it or not, there's these things that are called tracking systems, which say whether you're dink or you're not dink, and you can or cannot deploy. So if you want to go do cool stuff, you have to be ready to deploy. But yeah, so this is a pet peeve because we as corpsmen do everything we can to make sure that you are up to date with shots. We make sure that you guys have shot X's where you work at and pull you in and try and do everything under the sun to get you where you need to be. It's always that one person that just doesn't want to go to dental, or doesn't want to get a shot. To be honest, there are a lot of people that really hate shots, and I get it. And I don't like giving shots either because it's painful, especially immunization, because it's not like you're getting a shot to make something feel better with the immunization. It's literally no benefit other than cross your fingers and hopefully this thing works. But also it makes the corpsman job much more difficult because you would like to focus on other things, but a lot of times you end up just tracking the next person that's dink on the list. And sometimes people sit there for a while and you're like, what's going on? The CO sees it, everyone's seeing it, Sergeant Major comes down on everybody, then whoever else is in your chain of command comes down as well. So yeah, it can be kind of frustrating because everyone just is trying to make sure everyone can deploy. This next one is literally my pet peeve because, I come to work, I say I want to show up at this time and I want to leave at this time. And I've got a schedule that I've got to stick to, and everybody wants to be seen when they need to be seen and in an efficient timely manner. But the pet peeve I have is people that are late. Because when you're late, that puts me off that schedule, and then now I gotta push it back, and everyone else behind you has to be late, and everyone turns into being late, and it sucks because you being late makes me late for the next person. So just show up 15 minutes prior. We always preach that. So if you're gonna go to medical for anything, show up early. I promise you, we'll probably appreciate it. You may even be seen faster. I've actually done that where I've seen people because they were so early where a person was late before them, where I was like, well, hopefully I see this person and they come in after because they've already been so late. Typically, most facilities I've seen, if you're more than 10 minutes late, they cancel on you. So just be prepared to be on time 15 minutes prior. That way you don't even run into that, because then again, your CO and everyone else is going to track that, and you're going to get yelled at and told that you're a bad Marine or bad sailor or whatever else. This one makes me question, why are we even medical professionals? Why? And that's because there's a lot of times where you'll see people that are injured or hurt or whatever else, and then they just don't listen to the advice you give. And it's crazy. It really is, because it's like you could show people every article under the sun, everything that you could think of as to what steps they need to do to get back to 100%. And I say this because literally I tell everybody this as a provider, I say my goal is to make sure you can serve in the Marine Corps for even 1 enlistment or 20 years, 30 years, get out and do whatever civilian job you want to do. Like I literally care about people. I want to make sure that you can be the best you can be, whether you're in the military, out of the military, and that way you're just healthy. I think people misconstrue that like I'm just trying to take them out of the fight and say, hey, I want you to make sure that you can't PT, when really I'm just trying to make sure you're healthy. It blows my mind because people will also do something they're not supposed to. Like if you get a light duty shit and you're recommended not to go work out or not use that part of your body, but people still go do it. And it's just like, man, you gotta let your body rest to get to that point. Now the next one is where I wanna preface this. Again, come to medical if you need us. And I always want to say it, and there's a thing called malingering in the military. Very hard to prove. It actually is a UCMJ article, but there are people that fake being sick. The issue with faking being sick though is it's very hard to prove, right? You have to go through a lot of stuff to prove it. And so while I've never said anyone is faking anything, obviously, because that's not my role as an IDC, but I do want to say that there are people that fake being sick. And as a corpsman, if you're that person that's faking being sick, it's kind of frustrating because there are also other people that are trying to be seen. So if that was the case, don't fake being sick. I don't want to say that we can definitively say who is faking being sick. We just know that's part of the system, because in order to get SIQ to get out of work or get light duty to not do something you want to do, it's part of the system, the way the military is, that utilize us as that resource to give the guiding factor. So obviously it's a system that somebody could come in and act like they're sick when they're really not. But then again, as a provider, I also like to advocate for the patient. Like, obviously, I don't expect someone to throw up right in front of me or whatever. Like, you know, if you're coming in because you're legitimately sick and you feel like you can't work that day, cool, I understand that. Not everybody can work every single day of their lives. Sometimes you're gonna need one day to just rest. My last pet peeve here is the person that does nothing to get better. And the last thing I want to talk about is what you can do that will not upset a corpsman, and that's do something yourself that can make you feel better. Obviously, like I said, always come in if you're questioning anything. I don't want to make this video seem like it's not saying that, because obviously, like I said, from the very beginning, that's what we're there for. But also, I think it's good when people actually take that self approach to what can I do to get myself better as well. And sometimes it's very simple stuff. One example we get all the time is like lower back pain. There's people that complain about lower back pain. Supposedly around 80% of people say that they're gonna have lower back pain. And a lot of research shows that there's not really anything you can do other than management of pain. This comes down to what can you do for yourself. Stretching, there's yoga, Pilates, there's heat pads you can use, you can do chiropractor, you can do acupuncture stuff, there's so many different things, massage even, you know, just think of all those things that you can do yourself to maybe make your situation a little bit better. I do also want to say that's not like a lot of medical advice, but I'm just saying, I'm trying to give an example there. I'm not trying to give you medical advice of what you should do. I'm just trying to say, empower yourself. How can you get better? And a lot of times if you come into medical and you've kind of gone through the gamut and you're trying things to make yourself feel better and you're not seeing relief, yeah, it shows me that you actively are trying. But again, I'm going to summarize the whole video. Come in if you feel sick all the time. Corpsmen love our Marines. We love being there. And I always tell people I appreciate you coming in, because I know coming into medical is not the best case scenario. It's usually a hike to get over there. You had to get out of work to go do it. A lot of Marines are going to be guilted for going to medical already. So I understand if you're coming, it's usually because you have to come and you're not feeling well. So I want to make that clear, because I really love my job as a corpsman. I love the ability I have to make an impact on the lives of other people, and I take seeing patients as like a pride and joy, and I appreciate hearing people's stories and solving their problems and maybe helping them get better if I can. So I want to drive that home as much as in this video. And if you're going to be a future corpsman, I do think that has to be kind of embedded in your soul of what you're trying to do. People can become bitter being in the medical field, and you see people get burnt out and stuff like that. And again, this is my now 10th year being a corpsman now, so I still have a passion for it. Obviously, I'm still trying to progress forward and go further, and so I became an IDC, but definitely, I think that that's some key advice for people out there. But if you do have questions about corpsman, anything else in the military, you can always hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, or down in the comments below. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.